Alright everyone, today I'm very excited because I'm doing a video that is fun. I'm going to do a tier list of every item and runes. First we're going to go with items, then we're going to do runes on Jinx. So which ones are the best, which ones are not so good, because recently, the last few weeks, month I would say, I learned a lot about the game. I improved a lot in the game, and I realized some things that I just think are worth sharing, and I think doing it through this way will make sense. And I'm going to go through each item one by one and explain when should you buy them, being in which games, against what enemies, with which allies should you buy the item, and in which slot should you purchase the item, because that's also very important and misunderstood. And also in which conditions, because sometimes you might buy this item, let's say second, but sometimes you just have to buy it first because of the build paths and things that are just happening inside the game. And this is going to be the same with runes. And I changed my playstyle. I think it's worth mentioning. Recently I changed my playstyle a lot. So some things are going to be very biased towards that playstyle. And my playstyle is basically early game pressure. Try to win early game. Try to get good components early game. Try to snowball. Because this is what's making me climb right now. I want to be more aggressive in my games. Try to win my lanes a lot more often. And even if I can't, even if I try and it doesn't work out, I can still fall back onto my scaling, which is very true when I buy crit items. So I'm not going to go from like over every item in this entire game. I'm only go over items that actually make sense to buy on Jinx. I'm not going to go over like a mage item on Jinx. It makes absolutely no sense. Another thing I want to mention is, as you can see, I'm using like a green screen on the tier list, so I can put like my running. Last week I went on a tryhard run near my mountain, and I just tryharded run on top of it very fast. And I'm gonna show you that footage in the meantime, so it's not just nothing. You have something interesting to watch. So let's get started with something interesting. Let's say Yuntal Wild Arrows, right? That's a classic one. So Yuntal Wild Arrows. First instinct is to maybe put these in like S tier, right? Because it's just such a good item. It gives you attack damage, gives you attack speed, crit. Yeah, the crit is scaling. What's holding it back a little bit, which is wanting me to put it maybe in A, is the fact that the build path is annoying, right? And the build path is the only thing keeping and preventing this item from being broken, right? But I'm not gonna let the build path dictate everything, because there are workarounds to like when it comes to bad build path. So first recall, what you could do is buy a longsword. If you can afford BF sword, it's great. First recall, if you have like 900 gold, you don't want to buy Curl longsword, because right now, personally, I'm not buying Curl anymore because I want to snowball. So Curl is only for like playing 2 items. So I'll play for like 1 item, right, and get my stuff very early. So what you can do is also buy a pickaxe. You can just buy a pickaxe early game, because that's going to go into your second item anyway. And then next recall, hopefully you can buy a BF sword, and then you can still go Yuntal first. If not, we're going to talk about this on other items. If you buy pickaxe first, second recall, you can still cannot afford BF sword, then you can also pivot into another first item. So Yuntal, most of my games is what I go for right now, first item. And just because it has a belt build, I'm not going to put it in A tier, because the item itself is just broken by concept. It has the best stats in the game. It's by far the most broken item on crit, and this is right now. It gives you everything you want. It's insane. It's just too good. Every time I buy this, I'm happy. I just get the item. It's good. It's good stuff. It's amazing. There's nothing else to say to it, really. It's insane. So let's go over to something like, let's say C44, right? Because this is going to be tied into what happens if you can't afford Yuntal first. So a lot of times I can't buy BF sword in first recall. I'll just buy like a pickaxe. And then next recall, I only have like 700 gold. What am I going to do? Buy a longsword and that's it? And save all my gold for BF? I mean, you can do that. But I want to play for early game. I want to spend my gold and have a strong early game. So instead, if I have a pickaxe already, I'll just buy the 2 longswords that build into C44. And I'm just gonna go C44 first. Right? I forgot to mention, Yuntal, I always go Yuntal first. I'm never buying Yuntal in second, third, fourth, whatever slot. Yuntal is always the first item. If you don't buy it first, then you never buy it again. You just skip the whole item and you buy a Zeal item instead. That's also something I want to mention. So most of the time, C44, I just buy second. C4 second is a great item. You buy Yuntal or Storm Laser, whatever, into C4. C4 is like a great second item. But you can also buy C4 third. Let's say you want to buy Infinity second, then they don't have tanks. Okay, go C4 third. So you don't want to buy armor pair. Or you could buy C4 fourth item as well. Just go Infinity if after Yuntal, then Lord Dominic's, you can go C4 fourth. It's fine, it works, right? So you could mix and match, or you could buy the first item. So when you buy pickaxe, recall again with 700 gold, you buy the 2 longswords for C4, and the next buy, instead of buying like BF sword, you just buy the C4, and you start C4 first item. It's good, you can do that. It's actually working, amazing. It's very good to do that. I like it a lot. C4 first works if you can do 4 BF ever in your games, because you have very, very often recalls. So you go C4 into a Zeal item, be it Runan, be it Phantom, depending on the game, and then you buy Infinity or Lord Dominic's. That's your build. That's your 4 crit items. It's actually a nice build. It works really well. I recommend you try it. I think it's kind of cool. I know I said like C4 is not the best first item, but it's getting buffed. It's actually not that. It's okay. Especially because it's very cheap, 2,800 gold. So C4 like is so versatile, you can do a lot with it. And also another thing I want to mention, I'm not min-maxing my damage anymore. Because if I want to min-max my damage, I would just go Yuntal Infinity every single game. That's like the maximum damage, right? Or Yuntal C4. But it's not always about maximizing damage. It's about getting power now. Like if you can't afford Yuntal, because the build buff is annoying, you can get BF sword, just go C4, cheap item, you get good opponents, you snowball, it's good, right? Even though C4 Zeal item deals a lot less damage than like Yuntal Infinity, that's fine. It's okay, you don't need to worry about it. Max damage is not everything. That's something I had a misconception, I made a mistake. It's not everything. So C4 is just a great item as well. Now, let's move over to another popular item, Infinity Edge that I talked about. Infinity Edge is a good item. Right? It's the only item that gives you crit damage in the entire game. This patch though, this season it's a bit worse since you have a lot more crit damage from 175% to 200%. So crit damage is a bit less valuable, but it's just as valuable really. I mean, crit damage, you can't go wrong with it. It's insane. Right? It's just insane. They also have 70 attack damage, I think, Infinity. It's insane. So this item is automatic like S. I buy Infinity Edge every single game, no exception. Infinity Edge, I buy second sometimes, right? If you don't want to go C4, you can go Infinity second after Yuntal. Cool. You could go Infinity third if, let's say, you want to buy a Zeal item, or C4 second. You can go Infinity third, is amazing. Or sometimes, not recommended though, but you can go Infinity fourth if enemies have like tanks and you just want to buy LDR first and you still want a C4. But if enemies have a ton of tanks and you know you need to deal damage, I recommend you just go Yuntal, Infinity, Lord Dominic's. That's the build I recommend. So Infinity 4th, doesn't make much sense to buy it 4th. I feel like 3rd right now, or 2nd, is the best way to do it. But there's an exception. Because Infinity 1st could be an option. Similar to like the build path situation. If let's say you recall, you can buy BF, you buy pickaxe. The next recall, you can buy BF, cool. But the next recall, you have a ton of gold, enough to complete it Infinity Edge, but not enough to buy Yuntal. It happens. You could just straight up go Infinity Edge first item, then buy a crit cloak, go into a Zeal item for cheap crit, and suddenly your crits hurt like a truck already. So if you can afford Infinity early, and it makes sense, it works out based on what components you bought early game, you should just go Infinity first. Infinity first, into a Zeal item, into Lord Dominic's, into like a Shield War or C4. That's it. That's a great build. It works out really well. Legit, it's good. Also, my barber is calling. Be right back. Alright, I am back with a fresh cut. Where was I? I think we did Infinity, and I want to mention one thing about C4 that maybe I didn't mention. C4 is not good every game. You shouldn't buy it every game. It's only good against like stuff that's not gonna dive you non-stop. If you play against like 3 assassins and a Jarvan, you're probably not gonna buy C4. You're just gonna get dived, you're gonna get no value out of it. So that's something to consider perhaps. But you could also kind of ignore it and just try to stay max range. If you get dived, it is what it is. But when it comes to getting dived, this is an item that's very interesting. Shield Bow. Shield Bow is something I buy every now and then. Most of the time I buy this in the second item slot, because I go like Yuntal into Shield Bow most of the time, if I need Shield Bow, against those assassins. So in games where you have a ton of assassins in the enemy team, instead of going to the C4 that I recommend, you go shield bow. But it's the only thing, it's like very niche, it's not good in every game. And even in those games where you're playing against assassins, you could just theoretically go full damage like Yuntal, Infinity, or Dominic's and still be fine. So this is not absolutely necessary, but I feel like it just does a lot. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's good only if you're like against assassins and dive. And maybe not dive so much, but more like assassins. You know, stuff that's gonna one-shot you. Then this is actually a great item. So give it a shot in those games, but that's it. Otherwise, you should never really buy it unless you buy damage, because that's just what Jinx wants to do on average. All right, let's go for, let's see, what do we have here? Let's take something, this one, Lord Dominic's. This one is an S tier, we don't even have to think about it. Why? Well, because this, kind of like Infinity Edge, are two items you have to buy each time. So each game, Infinity or Dominic's are you must buy. So you can only adapt and your build on the other two item slots, two other crit slots. So these two you just have to buy every game no matter what. If you play against 5 ADCs, 5 assassins, all squishy enemy team, you have to buy Lord Dominic's. For the simple reason that everybody has over 100 armor later in the game anyway. So you just deal the most damage to them with Lord Dominic's. There's no other item that's better in the 4th slot than Lord Dominic's. And this is usually when I buy it, 4th slot. But sometimes you can actually buy 3rd slot if you go Infinity 2nd item. Or 1st, I guess. That's when you should probably buy Lord Dominic's. A bit faster, of course, right? You shouldn't wait for the 4th slot, because it's just that much damage. Armor penetration is insane. And especially if enemies buy HP, then you have the Giant Slayer passive. It's just it's such a good item. This here Infinity you just have to buy all the time, usually later in the build rather than earlier, but sometimes could you buy this before Infinity Edge? Maybe, you know, some games you could, if they have full tanks, but most of the time just buy it after, like when you buy Infinity, after Infinity just buy Lord Dominic's. Unless you buy Infinity first, then stick a Zeal item between, and that's your build. Cool. Speaking of armor pen, Mortal Reminder is like this guy's cousin, but this cousin is born with a problem. Yeah, maybe it's kind of rude to say it that way, but it's got a huge problem. Yeah, I know it's a bit cheaper, but you have less armor pen, you have no Giant Slayer passive, and all it gives you is 40% hit reduction, which, by the way, doesn't matter as much as you would think. So this you never buy really, because your teammates most of the time are going to buy anti-heal. So if you just you need to buy your armor pen item and you check the tab menu and no ally has anti-heal, and you play against Mundo and Soraka, okay, fine, you can go for it. Right, that's when you can make a use. That's why I'm going to put it in C tier, because it's actually usable. Only that specific situation. But even then, chances are your teammates are going to buy anti-heal. You never need to buy anti-heal, because you're always fighting with your teammates that apply it for you, unless you're just alone, in which case you probably messed up and anti-heal's not going to help you anyway. So only buy it if legit nobody else has it in your team and you absolutely need it, because if Drainburn buys Bloodthirster, you don't need anti-heal. Let's be honest, right? It's only needed when they have a ton of healing champions, and that's maybe when you have it and teammates can buy it. But I almost never buy it. Maybe once in 100 games. Maybe, if that. I just don't buy it. Oh, is that good? Alright, what's next on the list? Let's go for something fun. Rune and Hurricane. This item is fun. It's great. Alright, you play Jinx, you can hit multiple people. It's very, very nice. But it's not every game nice, like all those items in S tier. S tier is basically, I buy that every game, I'm happy. You know, it's good. Runando, you can't really buy every game. I mean, you could, it does help you between fights to push minions faster, but I feel like once you get 2 items on Jinx, you crit minions once and they die anyway. So you don't really need a rune and wave clear on Jinx, to be honest, right? And in the team fights, this does well only like in these scenarios, mostly against a ton of melee champions, because they like tend to bunch up together, especially if like good engage in your team. So if you're planning to play front to back, enemies have like 3 or 4 or 5 melee champions, then it can be good. Right? That's when you should buy it. So I do buy it sometimes. Right? I used to buy it a lot more, but now I only buy it sometimes because attack damage is generally better. So this is a thing that zeal items suffer from generally. And this is why I feel like a zeal item will never really be S tier, because attack damage is just too good. Attack speed is less good. It's just how the things work, especially if you go alacrity and little tempo and stuff like that. Don't need as much attack speed. So I'd rather see you buy attack damage if you go Yuntal, for example, right? But again, if you are forced to go C4 first, and the enemies have a ton of melees, okay, you gotta run out Shuriken second. That's actually great. I did that build a few times, it worked good. Yeah, it's a good build, right? So it's a good item, not every game though, but when it makes sense against melees, just go buy it, it's good. And speaking of zeal items, let's go with zeal items, I guess. Phantom Dancer. Phantom Dancer is same scenario, like, this is what I should mention about zeal items as well. You usually don't want to buy a zeal item if you buy Yuntal, because you have plenty of attack speed. But I did go Yuntal Phantom Dancer and I climbed a lot. So at the same time, I mean, if you like zeal items a lot, you can just buy a zeal item instead of like a shield ball or C4 and then go Infinity LDR, or just go zeal item 4th. This one also when you should buy zeal items. You could buy it 2nd, 3rd, 4th, depends. It kind of works in any of the slots, unless you need something more important first. But it's like if you really want it, you really want the extra attack speed, you can take it, it's gonna be fine. It's cheap to buy, and it kind of accelerates your crit chance, you get crit faster. Well, you know, it's good. And Phantom Dancer, unlike Runan, it just gives you stats, and that's it. So if they don't really have a ton of melee, you're not gonna get Runan value, you still want the zeal item for a reason. Good, just buy Phantom, it's a good item, you should take it, it's good. You know, it's a good item. I recommend it. I like it, I buy it sometimes, it's cool. Next zeal item, Rapid Fire. This one is similar to, you know, you should buy it in similar situation as other zeal items, that's the same. But this one is a bit more niche. I only buy it very rarely. And when I buy it, it does make a difference. So I'm going to put it like B tier, because it's actually decent if you buy it proper in a proper spot. And what's a proper spot looking like? Well, enemies have, unlike Runan, this is basically the opposite of Runan. Enemies have like 4 ranged enemies. Like you play against Victor mid, Ezreal Karma bot, and they happen to have like Kindred jungle. Yeah, you just take Rapid Fire, because that's the only way you reach them easier and safer. Even with just one basic attack. You slap them with a Rapid Fire, like 4 fight with Infinity LDR, for example. You buy it second if you want, sure, go for it. And just slap them once with a basic attack, maybe get reset. You run around fast with your passive, just buy it. This is good. You can take it. It's a good item against long range. Besides that, I would never really buy it as like a default. That's it, only against range, and it doesn't happen often. Usually enemies have at least like 2 or 3 melees. It's usually not full range, but when it does happen, okay, go buy it. It's fine, but even then, against those range, you could just go Phantom, and you'll still be fine, to be honest, right? So up to you, right? If you want to go for it, you should try it. I recommend trying it at least. Everything I mentioned, I want to try at least and see how it feels, because unless you try, you don't know, which is very true. And then this seal item here, I just wanted you to put it in the video just to, you know, just to have it. But yeah, it's don't buy it on Jinx. You don't need the ultimate haste. You don't need those 3 basic attacks after ulting, because you do a lot more on Jinx than just 3 basic attacks. So it just doesn't make sense on Jinx. You're not really the bursty champion. I would never buy this. It just makes no sense. If you buy it for fun, I mean, cool, but I don't see why. It's nothing to say. It just doesn't do what Jinx wants to do. You're not Yunara, you're not Zeri, you're not Twitch, right? Don't want it. Cool. Next item on the list, Stormrazor. Stormrazor is a very interesting item. Right now, as we make the video, is a bit overtuned. It's actually a good item, like a bit busted, you could say, a bit overpowered, but not many people really use it that much. That's why it's not really getting nerfed. On Jinx, Yuntal is definitely better, and this is why this is not S tier. But dare I say, do I put it in like A tier or B tier? It's like I don't find myself buying it that much often anymore. I used to buy it a lot more at the start of the season. I recommended it a lot against team comps where they have a ton of assassin burst, where you can just go in there and basic attack non-stop, right? So you don't need as much attack speed. But you're going to see why in a minute. We're going to talk about boots, why I don't really buy this anymore. And if you want to buy it, you should only buy it first item, and that's it. So if you play in a game where you can't really basic attack a lot, this is great. Just buy this little Yuntal, you know, are not going to basic attack a lot. They're all squishy, they're going to die in like a couple hits. You get movement speed to kite around. It's good. So that's good. But at the same time, you know, it's not the best. I would still put in A tier. It's actually good. Like it does good. Like it's good. Every time I bought it, I was happy. I felt the difference. It actually works instead of Yuntal first if you want. It's just the build path is even worse than Yuntal. So keep that in mind, but I can definitely recommend buying it if you know you're not going to basic attack that much. Now, let's talk about boots. Boots on Jinx. I'm going to take all the boots out here, or the pairs of boots. And these 4 pairs of boots right here. Default one is Berserkers. Everybody knows about Berserkers. Well, Berserkers, I used to buy them all the time. And I kind of don't anymore. I realized it's like, yeah, Berserkers are, you know, you just get some attack speed, but that's it. 25 attack speed, nothing else. So I'm going to put it like in B tier. It's like, yeah, you can just buy them every game, cool. Whatever, you have attack speed. You know, that's kind of it. It doesn't give you anything, it doesn't feel any better. It just gives you a bit of attack speed, not even that much. That's it, nothing else. No other effect, no nothing. You just get attack speed. And I realized you don't need to buy them. It's not that much attack speed. You can just take Alacrity runes, right? You have plenty of attack speed, especially if you want to go Zeal item, Yuntal Zeal item, right? And you should opt into armor or MR boots. That's what I figured out. And Swifties, by the way, I want to mention, Swifties, I would never really buy them. Yeah, they're cheaper, but I feel like if you're gonna go Swifties, just go Berserkers, man. At least you get some attack damage, or so like so basically DPS. The Swifties only give you like, I think 10 movement speed extra. Like, it's a bit cheaper, but like, no. I wouldn't bother. I just don't see Swifties on Jinx as positive. I always tried. I tried them multiple times. Never does anything for me. Honestly, it's not that good. So moving on to like armor boots and magic resist boots. These are the only boots I take right now on Jinx every game. And armor boots are actually S tier. They are actually broken by concept. They are overpowered. Most games you play against at least 2 attack damage enemies, like an ADC, maybe a AD jungle top, mid. Most of the time you play against 3 AD and 1 AP in the enemy team. That's most team comps. And even if you play against something AP, you play like maybe an Echo or Diana, you play against them, they still basic attack you in their kit. And these reduce 10% of this basic attack damage. So it even works against AP sometimes. So against Gwen, for example, right? It's just good, unless I'm wrong and I misunderstood the boost, but that's what it says. Reduces damage from auto attacks. And also gives you armor, which is insane. Armor on ADC is crazy, right? So I had a misconception of, this is how I used to play Jinx, this is how I climbed with Jinx all throughout until this season, I guess. I thought I'm supposed to be a glass cannon, hit enemies from afar. If they get me, I'm dead, skill issue on my part. And for the most part, yeah, that's true. So I worked on my positioning really well. But I feel like in my games right now, like there's no way I don't make a mistake. Enemies are just really good right now where I play. Enemies are just going to destroy me and catch me, and the only out is to actually like be able to duel them. Especially if I manage to be ahead, snowball a little bit, get some armor boots, suddenly I can 1v1 the cannon. Legit. It's insane. They're just overpowered. I didn't realize. I was wrong. They are insane. They are very good. I'm sorry I didn't recognize that they're better sooner, guys. You should give them a try. Stop buying attack speed boots, buy armor boots. They're insane. Same with magic resist boots. If enemies like have like 3 AP, you know, if you don't need armor boots, just go magic resist boots. They're also very good. They're less good than armor. I'm going to put them in A tier. Less good than armor for sure, but still way better than our Berserkers. Like if you play against heavy AP, just buy MR boots. They're nice, something nice. This could come in handy, right? Probably don't need it because cleanse exists, but it's good, right? Not that good, but amazing. They're still very good. Right, now let's move over to, let's see, what do we have here? We have, yeah, something very interesting. 2 other starter items. We have Kraken Slayer. I want to say Kraken Slayer is just not it on Jinx because it gives no crit. I tried it, and when you think about it, the Kraken proc, every third basic attack, you deal more damage. Well, that same Kraken proc deals very similar damage to just crit. You just buy a crit item and you crit. That's it. That crit damage is very similar to the Kraken damage. Basically identical, honestly. It depends with the missing health and stuff, of course. I tested like half HP, which is like the average that an enemy would have maybe, right? Actually, enemies are most likely more full HP, to be honest, right? So Kraken's even worse in that regard. But this is like having 33% crit chance. You buy a crit item, you have 25%. You buy the second one, you have 50%. It's like you have a Kraken proc, you have 50%. And also those crits scale with attack damage. Kraken does not. So Kraken is only good if you buy it first. And then after you buy it first, you buy a crit cloak, suddenly, oh, Kraken is not that good anymore. I don't have that crit. Good build path and everything, but I just cannot recommend it. I think it's just trash on Jinx. Like last season, okay, it was maybe a bit better because crit wasn't that good. But now when crit is just so good, I just don't see why people go Kraken on Jinx. It's just not a good item. It just doesn't do that good. It's not int, right? I would say Field Hunter Bolt is way more int than Kraken. So I could kind of put Kraken in C tier. But personally, I feel like if you're buying Kraken, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Really, after the crit got buffed and everything, you're still buying Kraken? I feel like that makes no sense. I don't know. I just have a hate for it. I used to love the item. It had crit, but now I cannot recommend it. I feel like it's a mistake. You should never buy it. In my opinion, it's a mistake. Because any other crit item is just better. It just does a lot more. It's just statistically and math speaking, like, it just does more. Yeah, you are maybe stronger for like 2 minutes with it, but you don't need it. Like, just go Yuntal and buy crit, or go C4 first if you want into Zeal item. You're doing a lot better. 100%, right? I can't recommend it. Cool, Collector. Collector, man, it's not that good on Jinx right now. Early game. Ideally, want some attack speed on first item, unless you go C4 then Zeal. So you could go Collector into a Zeal, which could work, right? But, I mean, I don't think it does that much for Jinx. I used to buy it sometimes and had some success. It's not horrible, it's not terrible, but I can't really recommend it. It's kind of like, you have other, instead of going Collector first, I'd rather see you just go C4 first. I think it would do a lot better. So it's like, why buy this when C4 exists type of deal. That's kind of how I see it. You could go for it if you really want to, but it's kind of like, you probably don't need it. Cool, let's move over to like last 5th and 6th item slots. We already talked about like crit item mostly, which are in the 1 to 4th slot, and boots. But now let's talk about the last items, because these ones I learned a lot about them. So first of all, Guardian Angel is actually S tier broken. Not just because, hey, it gives you a revive, because it also gives you attack damage, which is a great stat to have, but also it gives you armor. Similar to how armor boots work, you buy armor boots in a game against auto attackers and Guardian Angel, and suddenly like you can just duel anybody in the game. You have like 160 armor or whatever. Oh my god, it's insane. It's actually insane how strong you are because of GA and boots. Oh my god. I was surprised how OP it is. I just couldn't believe it. You just duel people. And then have revive if you mess up. Cool. Hell yeah, let's go. So I basically always buy GA 5th item. With exceptions if enemies have like no attack damage. Then I should probably buy an MR item or something more neutral, like Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster, 80 attack damage, gives you shield lifesteal, keeps you alive longer, deal damage with it. It's just a solid item. I don't think it's like S tier. It's not like, wow, you buy Bloodthirster are insane. No, it's just, hey, I don't know exactly what to buy. Nothing niche really works. Just buy a Bloodthirster, go for it. Good item. After GA, I usually go Bloodthirster. But it's not like, I'm never like that excited about BT. It's kind of like, whatever. That's how I feel about it, basically. And the lifesteal, I usually don't need lifesteal because I have Doran Blade, so that's kind of how I see it. Or you could go Bloodline if you really want to, right? But it's not really that necessary. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to another interesting item, which actually this season, Blade of the Ruined King makes some sense. Borg is very interesting. You could buy it 5th or 6th if enemies have like Mundo and Zac in the same team. In that case, you could buy it. I'm going to put it in B tier because it's only in those very niche situations, kind of like rapid fire. Besides that, it's just not doing good. I would not buy it besides that. Only if they have a ton of HP buyers in their team, then it could do work. Otherwise, not that good, not ideal. Only 5th or 6th slot, that's it. Interesting one, but otherwise, don't reconsider it. Now, let's talk about an interesting one I also buy sometimes. This is like the opposite of Guardian Angel, Mo. In games where enemies have a lot of AP, this is actually a great 5th or 6th item. So I'm gonna put it like A tier. I'm never like really excited about it. It's never that like crazy good. But it's like, okay, it's, yeah, you play against AP, just buy more. Yeah, buy more, it's good. It's gonna help you. Right? Combine more with MR boots and suddenly, wow, you have a shield and everything, you have a ton of MR. You can maybe hopefully survive a burst from a mage. Hopefully, right? Maybe you survive the Syndra finally, who knows, right? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, depends how fed you are, depends how fed they are. But it helps. It's nice. I buy it sometimes. I buy it basically every time against mages. It's just good. It's nice to have. Never too excited to buy it. I have blotters or maybe, but it's there. Another option for magic resist is Wit's End. So if you're against like full enemy team AP, just go buy magic resist boots, buy a hex dream more, sorry, 5th item, and then 6th item, like you could legit buy Wit's End to stack even more MR. And get some attack speed, which is not bad later in the game. You get some attack speed, if you already have so much attack damage, buying some more attack speed, cool. Gives you some tenacity as well, which is nice. So this item is actually great, but only against very niche enemy team comps full AP, right? Kind of like Bork and Rapid Fire, they're very niche. So yeah, not all the time, but if you have the opportunity, go for it. Now this is an item that's interesting. It's QSS item, whatever it's called, Mercurial Scimitar. This one, I'm going to put in like C tier. Because I feel like in games where you would need the QSS effect, you probably took Cleanse already. You probably took Cleanse in Champ Select. You play against Ashley on a bot, you're not going to buy QSS. You're going to buy Cleanse. Sorry, you're going to pick Cleanse. So you don't need it. Honestly, you probably don't need it. I never see myself buying it. Sure, if enemies have a ton of CC, or you need QSS because maybe, you know, Malzahar can flash ult me. I mean, alright, sure, right? Or you wanna buy it because you can actually use this item and the QSS. If Nocturne ults and you use this item instantly, you suddenly can see everything. You can actually see the vision from your allies, you negate his effect. He can still jump, but at least you can see and hide and prepare. Or hit enemies in the meantime. Which is kind of cool. Very niche against like Nocturne, but otherwise I would probably never buy this item. It's kind of You probably have Cleanse anyway, right, in those games. And then the last item, which is the only like tank item that I recommend. If you're against full AD, right, remember full attack damage enemies. Armor boots, GA, 5th, after buying your entire crit. And then 6th item, if you play against like an ADC that buys crit and like action in the mid lane or whatever, or something like that. So they have like 2 crit enemies, or 3 in the or whatever. You just buy Randuin Omen after that, to have even more armor and more HP as well, why not? Because you probably don't need to deal that much damage anyway, because they all have like AD and crit and bunch of them. You don't need to kill them as hard, you just need to survive a bit maybe. In which case, Randuin Omen, good. I'm gonna put this in next to like the niche items. It's very niche, only against like full AD and if they have like crit users as well. Could do a lot of work and to make it the same size. Yeah, whatever. I'm messing up. So kind of cool item, niche, but only those situations. So this is kind of my tier list for Jinx items. This is what I buy basically, you know, the S tier is like, I try to buy those like every game. You can see this build actually, like Yuntal boots, armor ones, C44 Infinity LDR GA. That's like my build every time, you know? But then sometimes, yeah, Zeal item might be good, a shield might be good, Stormblazer Furt could be nice. Yeah, I should maybe experiment with it a bit more if I need movement speed. MR boots definitely, BT is nice, Mo is nice, right? But then you have some niche ones like Rapid Fire, Bork, these ones, right? And it's very interesting. Oh, my alarm is sounding, my food is ready. We're going to talk about runes after this as well. Alright, let's do runes right now, because runes kind of go hand in hand with items. Because if you're like my old playstyle, you play for 2 items plus, play for mid-late game, you play for scaling, don't care so much about snowballing laning phase, you just want to get out of laning phase 000 and just carry me to late game, like most Jinx players should do, honestly, unless you're a maniac. That's when like runes are completely different than what I'm doing right now with my playstyle, which is go aggressive early game, try to win the early game, try to get an advantage. So when I do this, the rune tier list here, I will definitely mention like kind of the ranking based on your playstyle, because it really matters. It does matter a lot. So let's start with, I don't have the best images for these runes, but I just found them on the internet. Hopefully they're good enough. Little Tempo. Little Tempo is just S tier, is the best keystone, I think it's called, you should take on Jinx, because it just does what Jinx wants. You just attack more, faster, and you hurt a bit more, I guess, and just get more attacks, and that's perfect. That's what you do. So this like is made for you. This is a rune made for Jinx. It's perfect for Jinx. That's not much to say. Like just take it every game, every single game. And I want us to look at the competitors, right? Because if you don't take this, then what other options do you have? I'm just trying to find it in my pile. Here it is. All right. What about press the attack? Fleet footwork, Conqueror. Well, first of all, Conqueror on Jinx, whenever Little Tempo exists. I mean, what are you doing? What? Why? Excuse me? Makes no sense. I just don't do that. So press the attack. Press the attack is not that good. When Little Tempo exists, it's just that's it. Like press the attack is more for like burst damage, and then you get some bonus damage, I guess, but you have to hit the same target multiple times, and that's not guaranteed because in a team fight you might hit the first target now, but then they change, they go back, you have a new target, and it's really difficult to play with this, and it's very annoying to use on Jinx. It really doesn't do a lot for her. I'd rather see you just get Little Tempo, just pop off and kill everybody. Especially because Little Tempo, thinking about how your runes are tied to your items, you want to buy a lot of attack damage, you don't want to buy that much attack speed items. Because of that, you want all the attack speed you can get in runes. That's kind of how I'm playing right now, both playstyles. I just want to get as much attack speed as possible in my runes, so you can go as much attack damage possible in my runes. This is why press the attack just doesn't do enough, because then you're forced to buy a lot more attack speed. It just doesn't help you out that much, honestly. And it's kind of the same idea with Fleet Footwork. Just doesn't do what Jinx wants to do, and the Fleet Footwork healing is so nerfed. You get like 3 HP when you hit a minion or whatever, it's so bad. It's just, no, you're not Smolder or Caitlyn or what, you don't need this. This is not for Jinx, it's not helping you. Oh, but movement speed is nice. Go Stormrazor if you want this effect, go Stormrazor, but at least you have attack speed now on runes, you know? So these are just not working for Jinx. Now let's talk about what works for Jinx, which is like the Alacrity / Bloodline. I didn't take the Tenacity one because that's silly. We only do the runes that people actually asked me about. Should I play these runes? These are the runes I'm actually gonna show. Of course, I'm gonna not only take like a mage rune or whatever, right? Or a tank one. So Alacrity is definitely S tier. It's very underrated because if you look at stat websites, Bloodline is way more popular, like like it's like 80% I think and 20% Alacrity. I don't remember the exact numbers, maybe I'm just lying, but I know it's way more popular to go Bloodline, but Alacrity is underrated. It's just 18 attack speed. That's epic. 18 attack speed for free. Wow. It also gives you something level 1. You get 1 point something, 1.8 I think, or whatever, attack speed. Level 1. You just start the lane with more attack speed, you're stronger early game. Bloodline is scaling, gives you some lifesteal. When you scale and then a bit like 80 HP or 85, whatever, when you fully stack it, it's kind of like, I tried it, trust me, I changed my playstyle, I played with this initially. Then I wanted to say, what if I just change off it? And I go Alacrity, and I stop buying Zeal items, and I go attack damage items to deal more damage, and do I need Bloodline? No. You have Doran Blade. Doran Blade is good enough. If you want to buy a curl, by the way, you can buy a curl. I didn't really mention curl in the item section. I forgot about curl. Curl, if you play aggressive, you want to snowball, want to carry early game, don't buy curl. Otherwise, curl is just a great item. Or Jinx, it gets you to 2 items faster. That's what it does. So curl you can buy. But yeah, if you have curl, then Bloodline is even less valuable, because curl heals you when you hit people. So Bloodline I feel like is okay, but it's just way worse than Alacrity on Jinx. Like it just doesn't do much to it. Should I put in B tier or A tier? It's not like it's hurting or it's bad. It's not like lifesteal is bad. But I feel like compared to Alacrity, it's like it's not even. I never play right now with Alacrity and I'm like, damn, I wish I had lifesteal. Never. It does no. I just Alacrity every single game feels better. It just feels better every single game, no exception. Cool. Next controversial one. Coup de grace or cut down? Cut down is... I mean, it's I don't want to put it in S tier because it's not like... Wow. You know? It's like, it's better than coup de grace. Right? Cut down is good. Cut down is very nice because you just deal more damage when they are higher HP. If they're above 60% HP, you deal more damage. And guess what? In laning phase, people, when they fall below 60% HP, they use a potion. They go back to above 60%. Then you hit them again. So these just, you hit them a lot more often and deal more damage to them. Because most people are full HP longer. If they're low HP, they recall or they run away. So this always gets value, basically. Kada, on the other hand, you just don't get value. You get somebody low HP in laning phase, done. They recall. Or they heal. So it's like they run away. You don't get any value out of this. And then later to, get those skills, I'd rather just see you take them down initially and then maybe you can execute your ultimate, right? I guess this does make your ultimate a bit better, but it's kind of like cut down is just better. I just put this here. I would never take this. I never have a reason to take this when just cut down exists. It's just more damage. It's simple number. It's just still more damage, right? But still, cut down I'm not really excited about. It's not like alacrity, little tempo. Those make me want to go like, wow. Cut down is more like, yeah, extra damage. Cool, I'll take it. I have no other option here. It's better, so I'll take this. That's basically it there. Now, what's next? Let's see. We have Presence of Mind, Triumph, or what should I call this? Absorb Life. So, Presence of Mind. This is something that I'm going to put in S tier for Jinx, because mana issues do be kind of real. On Jinx, you want to spam stuff, rockets and everything. So if you don't have mana to do it, then it's sad. So you need mana to be able to do it. So if you play with Presence of Mind, and trust me, I try to play without it. I try to play Absolute Life a lot, Triumph a lot. For snowball playstyle, Triumph, you could say, makes a lot of sense. But the best way to snowball is to actually be able to push waves and use your mana to your advantage to win lanes. And Presence of Mind just does that, gives you more mana, gives you more options to do what you want. That's why like playing with it is nice. Playing without it is horrible if it's so bad. That's why like Absolute Life also like it's just late game, you get more HP, laning phase doesn't help at all. This one, like I'm tempted to put it like oh, why would you take this one? Legit, it's not good. It really doesn't do much. I really don't think you should take it. It's how bad I think it is. Triumph, on the other hand, is like, you really need the mana. I tried Triumph, it's nice, but you really, really need the mana. It's like, sure, if you somehow don't want to use your abilities that much, okay, maybe you can make it work, but definitely better than Absolute Life, but still way worse than Presence of Mind. You just need this. I wish that you didn't need this, because Triumph is cool, and Absolute Life is also cool, but you just really need it. It's not good. So yeah. Moving on to, let's see, we have some interesting ones, like Cashback, Boots. I'm rolling to the not Precision one, the whatever this is, not Sorcery, the whatever, Imagination. These two, right here. I don't think there's, I don't remember what the third one is actually on this row, but I don't think it matters. Anyway, you just get free boots or cashback. That's kind of it. So cashback right now for ADCs in general, it's just good. You get more gold, you get more items. I mean, you snowball harder. You don't snowball, at least you get extra gold. That's gonna help you hopefully get your items. S tier, cashback is great, is amazing. You really want it. By default, it's like the best rune right now, secondary on ADCs. Jinx included. It's just that good. It's so good, so nice, amazing poggers. Cool. On the other hand, Boots. Boots is something I'm actually experimenting with right now, and I'm taking boots for a couple reasons. First of all, when it comes to my boots, I like to rush my 2 items before I finish my boots a lot. I just figured that's kind of cool. You get crit faster and it kind of helps me out a lot, I feel like. And if I do that, then I might as well just let my boots sit at tier 1, be the magical ones that I get for free, which is 300 gold for free, which by the way accelerates my items early before my second item. And then it gets outscaled by cashback, which after second item, cashback is better. right? Because this gives you 400 plus gold after second item, but boots gives you 300 gold right away. Or like mini 10 or whatever you get it, mini 9, 7, it depends, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, it depends on the game, how many kills you get and so on. On average, I think it's like 8 or something. So you just get free boots that give you 10 movement speed extra. So you don't need to upgrade boots that early. So you already get 10 extra movement speed. And when you do eventually upgrade boots, you get 10 extra movement speed on tier 2 as well. Which means you have less of a reason to buy Zeal item as well. Because you actually get movement speed. You don't need the Zeal movement speed. I get plus 10 at least, right? So it's way nicer. I really like these boots. And they work well with my playstyle right now, which is to go crazy, aggressive, snowball, try to win early game, try to win my games. That's how I've been climbing right now in these very like high, low, like super high master games. That's how they just make me climb right now. Just go early game, and boots do that. They give me 300 gold early before I get like my first item or second item. Which is cool. I don't have to spend 300 gold to buy boots early. I just get them for free. So for me, it's S tier. It's very good, very, very good. If you want to take boots, they're good. Always good option. Right, moving on. Next thing. Let's see. Axiom Arcanist. I don't remember like which ones are in. I could check the rows, but I don't think it matters. Let's take these ones here, right? So Axiom Arcanist is just garbage. Jinx ult is so nerfed. Like you don't need to play for ults. Axiom Arcanist just sucks. It's not good. Don't go for it. It's really not that good. Let's take some bad ones out of the way already. Mana flow band. Yeah, you think presence of mind is needed, so you feel like, oh, need even more mana, right? Mana flow, you need mana. I tried no presence of mind, I tried mana flow, I tried both at the same time. And what I realized is that mana flow band is kind of impossible to stack on Jinx because you need to land Ws or chompers, or ultimates, I guess. And it's like you cannot stack this so fast ever. It doesn't really give you much mana. It takes such a long time for you to gain any value out of this. So it's just trash. You have to like land Ws and stuff. It's not good. It's not worth. Don't try it. I tried it. Don't do it. You're not going to enjoy it. You're going to get bait into like throwing Ws that make no sense. It's just really, really bad. Let's go. Let's see. Triple Tonic. Triple Tonic is a rune that I talked about and I used a lot. And I think it's a great, great, great rune. But I will not put it in S tier just because it's so difficult to use properly that I feel like the average player shouldn't really go for this because I curse so many people already going with this rune that even though it's amazing, it gives you 60 gold at level 3. So you can just use the elixir right away. Get 60 gold hopefully by the time you recall. You can hopefully get BF sword because of it. It's amazing. At level 6, the next fight you join, you use the elixir, you get more damage, you might win the fight because of it. Extra skill point is kind of whatever, to be honest, right? But even the just first 2 elixirs are great. They work good. I like using it. It's fun. You just got to get used to it. And the average player is very hard to get used to it. It's very difficult to get used to this. And I don't think it gives you the most value. I feel like there's a couple better options, which I'm going to talk about, that are better, to be honest. This is kind of cool. It's fun. And you can definitely use it. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good rune. It's nice. It actually does a lot. But I think you have a couple better options. So let's talk about those options right now. We have, I think it's Cosmic Insight. Cosmic Insight on Jinx, honestly, I underrated this one. It's actually S tier. You get Summoner spell cooldown. If you play against Jarvan, how do you escape Jarvan? You flash. You can't do anything. You can maybe chompers, but I mean, it's kind of hard to do against him. When he ults, he also stops you anyway, right? And the chompers are just hard to use against him all the time. So it's like, what if he flashes the chompers, right? He flash ults you. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. So you just have to flash out. Whenever flash is very important in your games, which is basically every game, I guess, this is just epic. It's good. And also it gives you item haste cooldown. So if you go Guardian Angel every game, and if you go Shield Bow sometimes, so if you play against Jarvan and a couple assassins in the enemy team, take this, go for Shield Bow, and you see how all the pieces fall together. And Shield Bow cooldown is also reduced. Barrier cooldown is also reduced. You have more armor with GA and armor boots. Flash is on lower cooldown. It just works. It's good. And I play with this a lot and I like it a lot. I think it's really, 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 really good. But another thing that I'm experimenting with right now, which is, if you remember my old runes, were biscuits and boots. Biscuits, boots. the classic. Right now I'm playing biscuits. You know why? Because while this gives you lower cooldowns and stuff, at the start of the game, I mean, you have everything off cooldown. So it doesn't really help you very much very early. It takes a little bit for this to get value. You get more value throughout the whole game, right? So it's more of a like scaling thing. Especially when you buy those, the shield bow, the GA, it only comes into play later. But biscuits make your laning phase better. Biscuits S tier for Jinx, you can play a lot more aggressive early game, you can push, you can trade, you can heal up with this. And I guess it gives you a bit of HP, which is cool, I guess, whatever, that's like a bonus. Whenever they used to give mana, they were even better, but now they're good. I try to take Biscuits boots and I'm happy. I have more early game pressure because of more early game power, which is good. So that's what I'm going for right now, I think it's nice. And let's talk about a couple scaling options, because Gathering Storm and Absolute Focus, you guys remember those two. These ones, they kind of go hand in hand. And let's start with Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm, since last season, lost a bit of value. Last season is my go-to rune, because you just get attack damage. And attack damage already is so good, we all know that. And if you get attack damage on runes a little bit here, it means you can actually go Z item second and not feel so bad about it. It used to be amazing. But now the game starts faster, less minions spawn faster, and that just means this takes even longer to scale. So now it's just a good option. I think this is a great option. I think cashback is way better, because you get items faster, you get more crit faster, you do more damage with this than this. Just a fact. And they're both scaling. But something that this gives, that cashback doesn't, is gives you more attack damage. Same with Absolute Focus, by the way. Absolute Focus, you just have more attack damage. That's it if you stay full HP. Let's put this in A tier as well. You just get attack damage. You can't be mad about it, right? It's good. But what's amazing about Gathering Storm Absolute Focus that I really liked compared to all these other runes that I use up here is the fact that these two give you attack damage, so that when you buy like your Yuntal, or you buy your, let's say you buy your BF Sword, Long Sword, and Curl, because we do that a lot when we buy Yuntal. With this Absolute Focus Gathering Storm, you can actually two-shot the caster minions. Without them, you don't have enough attack damage. And playing with this just feels so clean. You can push waves way faster. So that's something that makes them really good. I want to put them in almost, I almost want to put them in S tier, almost. But again, the games are a bit accelerated, and you don't get as much value as last season, because these ones are just actually so much better right now. It's 4 here. So you could take them. I think Double Leaf takes them, honestly, and good. Hey, he's used to playing with them. They are good. I used to love them. I still think they're amazing. You can take them if you want them. They are actually super valid. Another interesting thing that people mentioned is this thing. What do you call this? I don't remember its name, but you know what this is. You get different stats. You get Adaptive Force. This one is... you have better options. It's kind of like... It could work. It's like it gives you attack damage, right? So it's not like it's bad. Right? It's not like it does something that Jinx doesn't want. No, it gives you attack damage. You buy items, you get AD. Cool. But it's just not that much. I don't remember how much it is. 8 Adaptive Force or whatever. I don't remember. It takes 10 Force. I don't know. I don't remember the exact number. But you just have better options. I'd rather have boots or biscuits or this or cashback and stuff, because it just gives you more options. It's better basically. This is not enough to make good use of it. It's not enough for Jinx to be great. I tried it. Doesn't really make a difference. And if you do the math and the logic, it's just not there. It's kind of like Bloodline. It's like cool, but you don't really need it. It's kind of like better options exist, right? And then let's look at this. This one is like the whatever you call this, the little potion. You use a potion, you get instant healing. You don't really want to spend money on potions. Refillable potion, by the way, I didn't talk about. I almost every game, basically, if I have like 150 gold left over, I just buy refillable potion. So this could kind of go hand in hand with the refillable, could give you more healing. But it's, you know, I'd rather see you just take biscuits. You have to choose between this and biscuits, right? So it's like, yeah, I'd rather see you go biscuits. I feel like it's like not bad. I guess you get more HP in lane, which is cool. It's not like this, so this down here, but it's way better options. All right, we have Nimbus Cloak. Nimbuscock is interesting. I used to play with this a little bit when it got buffed like a couple years ago. And I think it's kind of interesting, kind of cool. It just falls behind its competitors. It's kind of like this bloodline and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's cool, it exists, it can work. You get movement speed after you use a summoner. But I think I'd rather you just get more summoners on average, or just get more stats attack damage, right? Rather than a bit of burst movement speed when you use like barrier or flash or stuff. I feel like, yeah, it doesn't do all that much. It's not really what you want on Jinx right now. It used to be okay, but then we realized stats are better, so definitely usable, but I don't recommend it. It does make me happy basically. Scorch goes against everything that Jinx wants. She doesn't want burst damage, she wants consistent DPS. You're not a mage, you're not guaranteed to hit people, especially in a hard lane. No, don't go Scorch. It's not that good on Jinx. Approach velocity is a rune that people talked about and asked me about a lot. And it has a similar issue with the mana flow band, where for this to work, you need to actually like land W's, which is hard. It's like I feel like myself, I'm getting better in my W's. I can like snipe people a lot more, but it doesn't mean it's easy to do. And if you play against like GM US player, oh my god, they're gonna dodge every W. You can't hit them. It's so hard to hit spell. And I know not everybody's playing against GMs, but even somebody lower can dodge the Jinx W. It's not that hard to dodge. It's a very fair skill shot. So you don't want to rely on landing it for this to be useful. And the only reason I'm not putting it in D tier and I'm putting it in C tier is because it works off your allies as well. So if your allies engage, you can get closer to try to follow up, which is fair. But, I mean, if you're not close enough, you're probably mispositioned in the first place. That's kind of my logic. That's how I see it. So I would not really go for it, to be honest. I don't think it makes that much sense. You know, it's probably better to buy something, take something else. It's too hard to use, not very realistic. And the last one I have here is whatever this is called. I don't remember. And it gives you more speed, basically. And to which I say, you can just take Ghost if you want more speed and take a better rune. Or just buy a Zeal item if you want more speed, or Stormrazor, and take a better rune, because you have way better options. So it's not bad, it's not like movement speed is good, but it's not like you're playing Kale mid with Swifties boots that upgrade into the tier boots that gives you attack or like force, or what, adaptive force, I think, based on the amount of movement speed you have, and your W gives you extra movement speed, which is further amplified by this, which gives you more damage. It's like, it's not, it's kind of like, see, it's like, no, it's not made for Jinx. You're not Kale or anybody else that gets like movement speed. Like, it's not really that useful on you. It's really not. You don't need more movement speed. Don't get like your passive, for example. You don't need it. Just buy items that give you movement speed, get a better rune. I can't really see a reason why this would ever be good on Jinx, really, right? That's my opinion. But yeah. This S tier, 100% usable. A tier, definitely good. If you want to take them, they're good, right? Very good. And B tier is like, maybe if you want to. C tier, really stay away. D tier, never you're hinting. It's kind of my opinion, basically. And let's see, should we do a summoner spell one? Let's do it for summoner spells again. Let's refresh. Magic of editing. We have Flash. Flash, guys, you need to abuse Flash. Flash abusers become Flash abusers. Flash is the single best summoner spell in the entire game. It's like 90% pick rate, and that's for a good reason, especially on a squishy champion and immobile champ like Jinx. No need to comment on it further, it's great. Next, Barrier. Barrier is like the most common summoner spell on ADCs right now, for a good reason. It just gives you a shield. You know, it's good. Laning phase, I'm taking Barrier a lot right now because it helps your laning phase a lot. You can duel better in laning phase. If you have it and enemies don't have a massive advantage. If you don't have it, enemies have it, it's a bit hard to fight them early game. You could do it, but it's a bit harder. And this doesn't take much skill to use, you just use it. That's it. Like you do a trade, you can just use it inside the trade as well. That's kind of long and you're about to like 200, 300 damage, just use it. And the only problem with Barrier I have is the fact that late game it falls off. Barrier late game doesn't do all that much when there's so much damage in the game late game, right? But it just gets you to the dirty early games a bit easier. So it's definitely something very, very good in the early game. Next is something that I recommend people use, and it's super underrated. And it's Ghost. Ghost is actually great. Not the best early game, but mid to late game, it just scales out of control. You get this movement speed before you even get your passive, and while you get your passive, you're even faster. It just helps you guarantee that first passive, keeps you alive before you get your passive, helps you reposition, catch up to people, run away from people. And it can also be used early game, especially you can use it early game to just escape a gank. Underrated. But it only suffers from one thing, which is the fact that early game, if you don't have barrier, you are definitely weaker. It's way harder to duel people because barrier is that good. That's the only reason I'm putting it 8 here. I play with this a lot. On my old playstyle, scaling playstyle, I use this all the time and I had so much success with it. But now, if I were to use it now in my aggressive playstyle, I don't think it would do all that much. So barrier is just better here. That's why I'm going to put it in 8 here. Still amazing, underrated, but not the best right now, in my opinion. Heal, on the other hand, is something very interesting. If you guys played League for a while, you know heal used to be... Everybody took heal. Everybody. This was the best. But nobody really does it anymore. Only supports take it sometime. And that's for a good reason. Barrier exists. So heal is just... Why would you ever take it? It's not trash. I'm going to put it in D tier. It's definitely usable. But why would you take it if barrier exists? I mean, that's it. And barrier has a minute shorter cooldown, which is another reason why barrier is so broken. It's such a short cooldown compared to like Ghost as well and heal. Unless heal is different, I don't know. But yeah, why would you take it over barrier? It never makes any sense. I guess it gives you a bit of movement speed, but it still doesn't make much sense to take it, right? Ignite. Ignite is, on Jinx at least, complete bait. It's D tier for a simple reason. You know, not I like damage. Like damage is good. You want to duel Tony, right? You want to duel, take barrier or take ignite, right? You want to kill enemy. Well, for you to use ignite, you need to be in their range. You need to get close to enemies and get in range of ignite, which is shorter than your rocket's range, by the way. And this is why igniting will get you into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And don't want to be in trouble. It's just going to bait you to get close to them, try to get for kill, and then they're going to turn down, they're going to die. Ignite is not really something made for Jinx. If you're Lucian, maybe, sure, right? But on Jinx, oh, you are kind of baiting yourself. It's so hard to use. I don't advise it. It's not good. Exhaust, on the other hand, suffers from the same problem as Ignite. You have to be in range to use it. If you're long range, you probably don't want to use it, right? But you would probably not want to use Exhaust on somebody that's far away from you, unlike Ignite. You want to hit Ignite on somebody while you're hitting them from afar. That makes sense. But Exhaust, you probably don't need to. You would only want to exhaust somebody that's like getting very close to you. You want to exhaust them like an assassin. So like this is why like Exhaust, I actually take Exhaust sometimes. Exhaust is actually a legit summoner spell that I might even put in A tier. Because in games where you play like against a ton of assassins, especially against like a Kiana or something, and you have Lulu, for example, and you know the enemy Kiana will buy the Serpent Fang, which reduces shields, barrier loses a lot of value. So Exhaust is like the next best thing you have to deal with those assassins. So I did take Exhaust a few times against many assassins, like Zed, Kiana, Talon. Like, it does work. It's good. Actually very, very good. And you should try it, you know, because it's just annoying to target, which is fair, but they're going to be close to you when you do it, and it's kind of underrated on ADCs against like many assassins. I do take it sometimes. Try it. It's nice. But if you don't want to bother, just go barrier. To be honest, right, is that good. Next, Cleanse. Cleanse is very interesting. Let's say you play against Ashe. Cool. You play against Ashe. Ashe throws arrow at level 6. You cleanse. Cool. Well, why were you alone in the first place? Why were you not with your teammates? Teammates would tank it for you every time. Why would you take cleanse just against an Ashe when before level 6, for you to get any cleanse value, you're basically playing without a summoner spell? because you have nothing. And oh my god, I'm getting hiccups. And also, if you cleanse like the Ashe arrow, and then I have to drink water. Good. And then I'm not editing that out. My videos are raw and authentic. And after Ashe arrows you cleanse, cool. You can hit her now. But most of the time Ashe is gonna arrow you from close distance, so she doesn't stun for very long. So in the meantime, she's gonna hit you like 2 times while you can hit her back. Well, barrier would just block those 2 basic attacks anyway, and it's like it's also used for before level 6. So cleanse is good, but not against just like a little bit of CC like Ashe. I don't take cleanse just against the Ashe. They have Leona Ashe on the other hand, okay. Cleanse is great. Cleanse is very good in those games. But I feel like it's a bit overused. You shouldn't take cleanse just because you see one type of CC in the enemy team. No. If they have multiple CC, they have Veigar as well and stuff, they actually have Zoe, TF. Yeah, cleanse is amazing, it's great. And you should take it. But that's not most games, and people take it way too often in my opinion. Cool, teleport. Teleport is very interesting. If you see a mage bot lane, they take teleport. And you're like, they can just push a wave when they run out of mana or they're low HP, and then they just recall and TP back, they lose nothing. So I wanna take TP as well. Well, you could, but you lose a summoner spell for combat, right? This is the only downside of TP. This is why it's actually like kind of B tier. It's like, you could use it. There are some ADCs I think that use it pretty well. I feel like some Corkis, I've seen some Ziggs, I guess it's an AP carry, I've seen some Smolders, Ezreals, right? But it's kind of like, you're probably not gonna recall that often as those guys, because they want to recall for like a Shin, want to recall for like a tier. That's another reason why they want to take it. You're probably gonna sit in lane until you get like 1000 gold for BF sword anyway, right? And you're not gonna get much value out of this. You're gonna push like a maniac anyway, so you can just push the wave, recall, come back to lane, abuse the home cards. You don't need it, right? Not unless you have a combat summoner spell to help you in that early game instead of using TP. Because later TP you cannot side lane. TP doesn't help you later at all. It's completely useless, right? Another thing for a Jinx. She doesn't side lane, so you don't get much value out of it. So yeah, this is my opinion on summoner spells. I hope I didn't miss any. But unless you go Jinx jungle, in which case you take smite, congrats. This has been the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed the background footage. I don't know how the background footage looked, because all I see is this. This is what I see, guys. This, yeah, it's magic, editing, woohoo. And yeah, I'll probably, I might upload this video that you see in the background. It's like an ASMR hill climbing video separately, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. Just in case you want to see the footage raw. But yeah, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.